Hello and welcome to our conversations with Pure Storage. I'm Alex Rayburn, CMO of COOLSPIRiT, and I welcome along Jonathan Disley with me today, Partner Technical Manager from Pure. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi, Alex.
You okay?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good to see you. During the next 10 minutes or so, we'll be discussing how Pure helps customers to achieve their environmental and social responsibility goals, something which is top of mind for all of us. So let's go ahead and start the conversations. I'll dive into the first question, if that's okay, Jonathan.
Sure.
Environmental and social governance, ESG, is a hot topic right now, and all organisations are looking for ways to reduce their impact, their environmental impact. What steps are Pure taking in this area?
So we've just recently demonstrated our commitment in terms of sustainability goals by publishing our inaugural ESG report. I'm sure there'll be a link provided somewhere along with this video. Pure's products essentially help customers reduce their environmental footprint because they require substantially less power, space and cooling and produce less electronic waste than legacy and competitive storage systems. So we're really excited to be able to help our customers decrease the carbon footprint at the same time as enabling them to advance the digital transformation.
Something we've been on many sessions together, and I think the first questions from customers is how do you help us become more environmentally aware, isn't it? So such an important topic. With the ever increasing importance of data and expanding use of technology in business, considering the environmental impact of IT has never been more important.
Indeed, 13% of worldwide energy is supposedly consumed by data center, screen and networking equipment.
Wow.
And data needs are growing all the time, right? So the only way to keep that number down is going to be to build more efficient products. This is really something Pure's always done. As well, the world's running out of the precious metals that are needed to build IT components and equipment. So, we need to start mining less and reusing more what we've already pulled out of the ground. It's estimated that humans dump 50 billion tons of old electronic equipment and components every year. And, that's simply got to stop. So it doesn't come as a surprise that more stringent regulations are now coming into play and societal values are forcing businesses to view sustainable digital initiatives as a business performance indicator. And businesses are also being assessed by their own consumers and even by potential hires in regard to their environmental footprint. So, when I was an SE out in the field, I talked to storage managers and infrastructure leads about how much power and cooling our storage could save their organization. And the general response was, I don't really care about that. It doesn't come out of my budget. But that attitude is absolutely and noticeably changing now. And people really are starting to care, and it's on everybody's agenda.
Yeah, it seems like there are many ways for organizations to look at reducing their carbon footprint. Where can Pure make a difference, truly,
So there's two major areas of carbon reduction for most organizations. These are divided kind of between the things that a business can control directly. These are referred to as scopes 1 and 2 in the greenhouse gas protocols accounting methodology. And then you've got things outside the direct control, i.e. what's kind of upstream and downstream in supply chain or output of their business. So for Pure, I think it's fair to say the majority of emissions related to our business come from what's called use of sold product. So that falls within scope 3. This is when we built something, shipped it to a customer, and the customer uses that product. That's where the majority of Pure related emissions are. But that same usage for customers is scope 2 for them, right? Because running their own data centers is within scope 2 for those customer organizations. It's within their direct control. So while we're focusing as an organization on our own scope 1 and 2 reductions, including things like committing to a 50% reduction per employee in greenhouse gas emissions by our FY 2030, and taking that further of achieving net zero by 2040. This includes things like switching to green-only electricity suppliers, even where it's costing us more to do that, and ensuring efficiency throughout our supply chain. But despite all of those things we can do as a company regarding our own emissions, as I already mentioned, the majority of contributions for us really come from scope 3, being the use of sold products. So that's where we can really have the biggest impact by improving the efficiency of our products that go on to be used by customers.
Cool. I guess, many manufacturers and vendors will tell us what they can achieve, but can you give us some examples of how your products are more efficient than some of those competitors you see in the marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. So our core technologies really integrate software and hardware very closely to deliver unmatched density, longevity, and efficiency in the product. As a couple of examples, we have industry-leading data reduction technology that allows customers to store more data with less physical hardware, less resources. And we make continual improvements to that technology over time for our customers through non-disruptive updates of their array software, allowing them to store even more data with the hardware they've already got over time. In many cases, maybe avoiding the need for them to purchase additional storage and upgrade. And also our direct flash modules that we build ourselves. We don't use industry standard SSD in our products. We build our own called direct flash modules. And these are delivering 3 times the reliability of an industry standard SSD. So that of course leads to, in turn, to less e-waste. In a recent third-party report of product lifecycle analysis, Pure's FlashArray X70 was found to produce 84% lower greenhouse gas emissions than a competing all-flash array. And to be clear, we're not talking there about a legacy spinning disk array. All-flash arrays are nearly always more efficient in energy terms than a spinning disk array. But this is against a competitive all-flash array from another vendor. So that reduction extrapolated over a 5-year period would equate to driving approximately 663,000 miles in an average passenger car, or taking over 550 cars off the road for a month. And that's just for a single array, right? So of course, the majority of our customers have more than one array. So think of that as a multiplier effect in terms of the CO2 savings. Wow. And finally, on that efficiency and sort of e-waste point, it's pretty impressive statistic that in a market where rip and replace storage refreshes, otherwise sometimes known as forklift upgrades, every few years has pretty much been considered the norm in the industry. 97% of Pure arrays that were purchased 6 years ago are still in service today. So that's through our modular evergreen architecture that reduces the need for wholesale rip and replace of products. And instead we allow incremental non-disruptive upgrades to both hardware and software, which keeps the array in service longer, thus reducing the associated e-waste from product obsolescence.
Some pretty impressive statistics there, really, isn't there? I mean, it sounds like from your R&D, the environment is thought at the very beginning, and then for a customer able to run an array for such a long time, really not keep swapping and replacing so often, it's great, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
So are there any other aspects of Pure's portfolio that help reduce environmental impacts before we wrap up?
Yeah, so there's a few other kind of things I would mention. One is, due to the high performance nature of our products, they do tend to become consolidation targets, if you will, for customers' workloads. So through avoiding things like storage silos and allowing more disparate and different workloads to be consolidated onto the same device, again, that increases utilization, does away with capacity underutilization. In the old days, people would deploy a different storage system, typically per workload, because they were worried about the performance impact of one thing interfering with another. So you'd end up with a multitude of different storage systems, creating these different silos, all of which were potentially underutilized from a capacity point of view. With our performance and always on quality of service we have in our products, it really makes consolidation of multiple workloads onto a single device, much more realistic and helps reduce waste.
Yeah.
We've also been a market leader in terms of delivering QLC-based flash systems. So for those who don't know, QLC, quad layer cell flash, it's basically a much more dense type of flash storage. And again, because of that increased density and the clever things we've been able to do to maintain great performance and resiliency while leveraging that higher capacity technology, that's again allowing allowing us to store more data with less through that less physical hardware through that adoption of QLC. And finally, the last point I'd make, I think, would be around our Pure as a Service subscription offering. This really allows customers to reduce energy and avoid waste of underutilized equipment by on-demand flexing the storage infrastructure up and down only as and when they need additional capacity. So paying for the storage on a subscription basis, as opposed to the traditional CapEx approach where the customer was always planning for the biggest possible high watermark of, what's the maximum data I might need to store at any given time, and that's what I need to buy. With Pure as a Service, the customer can flex up and down their subscription based on their needs. So making sure that utilization is tracking closely to the needs as possible. So yeah, a number of areas there where I think Pure can really help customers really optimize their infrastructure and reduce their carbon footprint and certainly their e-waste output as well.
It's been great conversation. I really appreciate your time. It's been great to speak to a trusted partner of ours who is so committed to the environment impact. And yeah, as I say, as I start at the top of this call, it's on top of everybody's mind. So the more we can do, and we absolutely know, don't we? Let's not, IT is such a big impact of that. So the more we can do that in the area, then the better we are for the future. So thank you very much, Jonathan. I really appreciate your time. And I look forward to speaking to you again.
Thanks, Alex. Good to speak
Thank
to you.
you. Cheers then.